What if I told you that Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man in the Roman Empire, had a secret weapon that could instantly defuse any anger? And it's something you can master in the next 8 minutes. The Stoics discovered 8 bulletproof strategies that can transform your rage into unshakable inner peace. And by the end of this video, you'll have the same mental armor that helped ancient philosophers stay calm even when facing death itself. But here's the thing. Strategy number 7 is so powerful that it literally rewires your brain's response to anger. Stick around because I'm going to reveal all 8, plus give you a free downloadable guide that you can use immediately. Before we dive in, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Why? Because every single day, I share ancient wisdom that can change your modern life. And trust me, after today's video, you're going to want to be part of this community of people who are mastering their emotions instead of being controlled by them. Welcome back to Daily Stoic Insights. I'm your host, and today we're talking about something that destroys relationships, careers, and inner peace faster than anything else: uncontrolled anger. Here's what most people don't understand. Anger isn't your enemy. It's actually a signal. The Stoics knew this 2,000 years ago. They didn't try to eliminate anger. They learned to master it. And here's the beautiful part. Every single strategy I'm about to share with you has been battle-tested by emperors, slaves, and everyone in between. These aren't feel-good theories. These are practical tools that work in real life, in real situations, with real consequences. And listen, I'm going to give you something special today. At the end of this video, I'll share a simple 30-second technique that Epictetus used to instantly calm his mind. It's so effective that modern neuroscience has proven it actually changes your brain chemistry. So make sure you stick around for that. Let's start with the foundation, what Seneca called the pause of power. Picture this. Someone cuts you off in traffic. Your blood boils. Your hands grip the steering wheel. You're about to explode. But here's what a Stoic would do differently. They would pause. Not because they're weak, but because they're strong enough to choose their response. Seneca wrote, "The greatest remedy for anger is delay." Why? Because anger is like fire. It needs immediate fuel to survive. When you pause, you starve the fire. Here's the practical application. When you feel anger rising, count to 10. But don't just count. Breathe deeply with each number. This isn't about suppressing your anger. It's about creating space between the trigger and your response. Modern science backs this up. When you pause, you activate your prefrontal cortex, the rational part of your brain, and calm down your amygdala, the emotional part. You literally shift from reactive mode to responsive mode. Try this right now. Think of something that made you angry recently. Now take a deep breath and count to 10. Feel that? That's the power of the pause. Strategy number 2 is the cornerstone of Stoic philosophy, the dichotomy of control. Marcus Aurelius faced betrayals, plagues, and wars. Yet he remained calm. How? He mastered this simple truth. Some things are within your control, and some things are not. Here's what you control: your thoughts, your actions, your responses, your effort, your character. Here's what you don't control: other people's actions, the past, the future, natural disasters, traffic, your boss's mood. Most anger comes from trying to control what we can't control. Your coworker is lazy? You can't control that. But you can control how you respond. Your partner forgot your anniversary? You can't control their memory. But you can control whether you choose understanding or rage. The Stoic exercise is simple. When anger arises, ask yourself, is this within my control or outside my control? If it's outside your control, let it go. If it's within your control, focus your energy on what you can actually do about it. This isn't passive acceptance. This is strategic focus. You're not giving up, you're directing your power where it can actually make a difference. And remember, I promised you that 30-second technique from Epictetus. We're getting closer to that. Plus, I have 6 more powerful strategies coming up. Strategy number 5 is going to completely change how you see difficult people. Strategy 3 is what Marcus Aurelius called the view from above. Imagine you're angry because someone insulted you at work. Your ego is bruised. You want revenge. But now imagine you're floating above the earth, looking down at this tiny moment in the vast cosmos. Marcus Aurelius regularly practiced this mental exercise. He would zoom out and see his problems from a cosmic perspective, not to minimize his feelings, but to put them in proper context. Here's how you do it. When anger strikes, mentally zoom out. First, see yourself in the room. Then see the building. Then the city. Then the country. Then the planet. Then the solar system. Suddenly, that insult doesn't seem so earth-shattering, does it? This isn't about making your problems seem insignificant. It's about gaining perspective. Most of the things that make us angry won't matter in a week, a month, or a year, but our response to them shapes who we become. The Stoics understood that anger often comes from taking things too personally, too seriously. When you see from above, you realize that most offenses aren't personal attacks. They're just people acting according to their own limited understanding. This perspective shift is incredibly liberating. You stop taking everything as a personal assault and start seeing it as part of the human comedy. Strategy 4 sounds dark, but it's incredibly powerful. Premeditation malorum, or the premeditation of evils. The Stoics would regularly imagine losing what they valued most. Not to be pessimistic, but to be prepared. When you've mentally rehearsed difficulties, they lose their power to trigger uncontrolled anger. Here's how this works with anger. Instead of being shocked when people disappoint you, expect it. Not cynically, but realistically. People are human. They make mistakes. They act selfishly sometimes. They forget things. They say stupid things. When you've already considered these possibilities, you're not caught off guard. You're prepared. This morning, before you leave the house, spend 2 minutes imagining potential frustrations. Traffic jams, rude customers, technical problems, miscommunications. Not to attract them, but to prepare your mind. When these things happen, and you'll think, there it is. I was prepared for this. Instead of explosive anger, you'll have calm readiness. Seneca practiced this daily. He would imagine losing his wealth, his health, his status. Not to be morbid, but to appreciate what he had and prepare for what might come. The result? When real challenges arose, he was mentally ready. His anger had nowhere to take root because he'd already processed the possibility. Strategy 5 is about changing how you see the people who trigger your anger. Epictetus taught that people don't do wrong willingly. They act according to what they believe is right, even when they're completely wrong. This insight is revolutionary for anger management. That person who cut you off in traffic? They're not evil. They're probably stressed, distracted, or running late. They're acting according to their current understanding of what they need to do. Your difficult coworker? They're not trying to ruin your day. They're operating from their own fears, insecurities, and limited perspective. This doesn't excuse bad behavior, but it explains it. And when you understand the source, you can respond with wisdom instead of rage. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Whenever you want to cheer yourself, consider the good qualities of your companions." Even when people frustrate you, try to see their humanity. Here's a practical exercise. The next time someone makes you angry, ask yourself, what pain might this person be carrying? What fear might be driving their behavior? What don't I understand about their situation? This shift from judgment to curiosity is transformative. You stop seeing enemies and start seeing fellow humans struggling with their own challenges. We're almost to that special 30-second technique I promised. Plus, I have 3 more game-changing strategies. And at the very end, I'm going to give you a free downloadable guide with all of these strategies, plus bonus exercises you can start using today. Strategy 6 is about managing your expectations, what the Stoics called the discipline of desire. Most anger comes from the gap between what we expect and what actually happens. You expect people to be on time, to keep their promises, to be considerate. When they're not, you get angry. But here's the Stoic insight. Your expectations are your responsibility, not theirs. This doesn't mean lowering your standards. It means holding your standards for yourself while accepting that others might not share them. Epictetus said, "Don't demand that things happen as you wish. Wish that they happen as they do happen, and you will go on well. This sounds like giving up, but it's actually taking control. You're choosing peace over the illusion of control. Here's how to practice this. Before any interaction, set realistic expectations. Going to the DMV? Expect delays. Dealing with customer service? Expect frustration. Having a difficult conversation? Expect resistance. When you expect challenges, you're not disappointed by them. You're prepared for them. But here's the beautiful part. When people exceed your realistic expectations, you're genuinely pleased. When they meet them, you're satisfied. When they fall short, you're prepared. This strategy alone can eliminate 80% of your daily frustrations. Strategy 7 is where the rubber meets the road, the discipline of action. The Stoics believe that virtue is the only true good. This means that your character is more important than your comfort, your reputation, or even your immediate desires. When someone makes you angry, you have a choice. Respond with virtue or react with vice. Virtue means responding with wisdom, justice, courage, and self-discipline. Vice means responding with anger, revenge, or cruelty. Here's the powerful part. Every time you choose virtue over vice, you become stronger. Every time you choose vice, you become weaker. Marcus Aurelius faced assassination attempts, betrayals, and constant criticism. But he chose to respond with virtue. Not because it was easy, but because it was right. This is the strategy that literally rewires your brain. Neuroscience shows that every time you choose a calm response over an angry one, you strengthen the neural pathways for calmness and weaken the pathways for anger. You're literally training your brain to default to peace instead of rage. Here's your action plan. The next time you feel anger rising, ask yourself, what would the most virtuous version of myself do right now? Then do that, even if it's difficult. This isn't about being perfect. It's about being intentional. Every virtuous choice makes the next one easier. The final strategy is what Seneca called the evening reflection. Every night before bed, Seneca would review his day, not to judge himself harshly, but to learn and improve. He would ask, what did I do well today? Where did I fall short? How can I do better tomorrow? This practice is crucial for anger management because it helps you identify your triggers and patterns. You start to notice, I always get angry when I'm hungry. I lose my temper when I feel disrespected. I react poorly when I'm stressed. Awareness is the first step to change. When you know your patterns, you can prepare for them. Here's your evening reflection framework. 1. What triggered my anger today? How did I respond? What could I have done differently? What did I learn about myself? How can I prepare for similar situations tomorrow? This isn't about beating yourself up. It's about honest self-assessment and continuous improvement. The Stoics believed that philosophy isn't just theory, it's practice. Every day is an opportunity to become more virtuous, more wise, more at peace. Now, here's that special 30-second technique I promised from Epictetus. When you feel anger rising, immediately do this. 1. Take a deep breath and say, this is just an impression, not reality. Ask, is this helping me or hurting me? Choose, I can respond with wisdom or react with emotion. Act, take one small virtuous action. That's it, 30 seconds. But it works because it interrupts the automatic anger response and gives you back your power to choose. Epictetus used this when he was literally beaten as a slave. If it worked for him in that extreme situation, it can work for you in yours. Let me recap these 8 powerful strategies. 1. The pause of power. Create space between trigger and response. The dichotomy of control. Focus only on what you can control. The view from above. Gain cosmic perspective. The premeditation of evils. Prepare for difficulties. The discipline of perception. See people's humanity. The discipline of desire. Manage your expectations. The discipline of action. Choose virtue over vice. The evening reflection. Learn from each day. These aren't just anger management techniques. They're life transformation tools. The Stoics used them to build unshakable inner peace. And you can too. Remember, mastering anger isn't about never feeling it. It's about choosing how you respond to it. Every time you practice these strategies, you become stronger, wiser, and more at peace. If this video helped you, please hit that like button. Why? Because it tells YouTube that this ancient wisdom is valuable, and it helps more people discover these life-changing strategies. Drop a comment and tell me, I choose virtue over vice. This simple declaration will help reinforce your commitment to these practices. Share this video with someone who struggles with anger. You might just save their relationships, their career, or their peace of mind. Subscribe and hit that notification bell, because every day I share practical Stoic wisdom that can transform your life. Tomorrow, I'm revealing the 5 Stoic secrets for unshakable confidence. And come back next week to share your success stories. I want to hear how these strategies worked for you in real situations. Remember, you have the power to choose your response. Choose wisely, choose virtuously, and choose peace. Until next time, stay strong, stay wise, and stay stoic.